going to be the new moon total solar eclipse live reading and energy update. We're going to talk about the new moon. We're also going to talk about some of the cards and the energy that comes up from tarot and oracle, and then we will pull some cards for you guys at the end. So I'm just going to wait a second for a few more people to jump on. Hello to the person who's here thus far. Usually it takes a couple seconds for people to, there we go, people are showing up now. Okay, hello, welcome to the new moon live reading. Hi, great to see you guys. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into some of this information around what's going on with this new moon. So how are you guys feeling? I know it's been a little bit of a tricky one. This feels kind of more like a full moon, in my opinion. I don't know if any of you guys have been feeling kind of intense, tired, exhausted. There's a lot of releasing. There's karma coming up to the surface. Yeah, Sharon, me too. So tired. Like I've been sleeping for like 10 hours a night, and then I wake up and I'm still tired. And I nap during the day and then I'm still tired. And I'm like trying to get through my work here with YouTube and with clients. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. I'm so drained. It's because this new moon solar eclipse feels very similar to a full moon. So really, really potent, really powerful. And there's just a lot coming to the surface. Seth, if you woke up annoyed, that's probably part of this because there's so much intense energy right now. A lot of the subconscious stuff is coming up to the surface. So you may have been playing some of that out in your dream state in the astral. So let's talk a bit about that. First and foremost, the new moon is in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is all about philosophy, higher learning, travel, expansion. I'm just looking at my notes here because my ADHD brain will just go off on a tangent. So let's keep it grounded. Perspectives, broadening your perspective, expanding your horizons, very, learning through experience is a very Sagittarian theme. So this new moon is all about learning through experience. And sometimes that experience can be challenging. Sometimes that kind of asks us to really feel it to heal it. Or, that's why I check out the merch down below. I have a Feel It to Heal It shirt if you guys are interested. But yeah, it's like very intense energy. And we are in the middle of it right now. Right now is the new moon solar eclipse as I am recording this, and it does affect us for the next 6 months. So we've been in this new moon portal for 10 days before and 10 days after. That's like really the prime energy of this new moon, but the repercussions of what we're doing now will last for the next 6 months. So if you're doing your work, if you're doing your healing, if you're being open and not resisting what this eclipse is bringing you, then this will benefit you long term. So the new moon is obviously it's a new moon, just like every other new moon that I talk about, which is about new beginnings, setting new intentions, manifesting, creating a new cycle, building off the last cycle. And the solar eclipse itself is a total solar eclipse. So these aren't necessarily rare, but they're not super common to have a total solar eclipse where there's full occlusion of the sun. So this is a little bit more potent. It's the most potent type of eclipse that we can have. And this is right on the tail of a lunar eclipse that we had in the last cycle. So this is all about releasing, letting go. It's transformational shifts for us, both individually and collectively. So there's a lot of information coming to the surface because the moon represents the subconscious mind and the sun represents the conscious mind. So when you have the sun going, or the moon rather, going in front of the sun, this is kind of blocking out all of our conscious stuff that we know and that we believe and that we think, and replacing it with some very deep, very subconscious emotional information. So there might be a lot of stuff coming up to the surface right now for you to kind of look at and go over and kind of weed through. I feel like we're going to be deep diving, and we have been doing that already, but even more so as we move into 2021 and with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, which I'm going to be doing a video on as well. So stay tuned for that. But I really feel like this is revealing a lot of information to us. Eclipses do tend to do that. They reveal things, they bring things up, they bring us a new level of awareness. Now, sometimes what's required is that we let go of things to be able to have that new stuff come in. So, total solar eclipse, is super potent. It can kind of shake things up. I've been feeling this energy of the tower, and I don't know if the tower is going to come up when we pull some cards, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because there's a lot of like lightning striking. There's information coming in. There's crumbling foundations all around because things need to change. And the only way for that to happen is for the old structures to fall away. So I've seen some themes within my client practice. So I work one-on-one with all of these beautiful, amazing souls, some of you who are watching probably as well, doing tarot readings, spiritual counseling, Akashic record readings, and Reiki, clairvoyant Reiki is what I practice. So I've been working with a lot of people, and I tend to see themes of things come up. I've seen a lot of Arcturians coming forward at this time, Arcturian souls and Arcturian starseeds. So this kind of tells me that well, first and foremost, the Arcturians are fantastic at like spiritual technology. Their spiritual wisdom is like the core of that soul group. If you've watched the Arcturian Starseed Origins video, you will know what I'm talking about here. If you haven't, you can jump over to my channel after the video and you can check that out if you're interested. But the Arcturians are coming forward right now, and that tells me something about what's going on spiritually and energetically. The Arcturians are coming forward for upgrades and clearing, and the rest of us are too. So I'm not an Arcturian starseed myself. I'm Cassiopean with a Pleiadian underlay, so I spent a lot of time in the Pleiades. That's kind of where I identify as soul origin now, and I work with a lot of Pleiadian groups. Yeah, you're from Arcturus? Okay, awesome. So some of you may be, some of you may not be, and it's, we're all souls, we are all one, and these little groupings of starseed, sort of groups are not, it's not something to create division. It's like, we're all star seeds, we're all from somewhere, and even earth seeds are technically still star seeds. They just happen to incarnate into earth first. So I've really seen a lot of themes coming up, not only with Arcturian souls, but also with like just general clients coming forward with a high proportion of cord cutting. So I've been doing cord cutting for years within my practice. It's just something that happens to come up sometimes within sessions. Every session I do is different. I really never know what's going to come up. So I just kind of vibe with it and let whatever higher self or whatever spirit wants to, work on. That's what we work on. But I've seen a lot of cords coming up. So cords in the sacral, cords in the solar plexus, cords in the heart chakra, things connecting you and draining the energy there. So these are formed and created through attachments. So it's not like anybody creates a cord with us. We create a cord with them. And especially when those unhealthy relationship dynamics or interpersonal energy exchange is happening on both sides. So the way to release that attachment or to cut that cord is really through releasing and letting go of that attachment. So now that can be challenging. The soul or some kind of a wounded aspect of the soul, oftentimes the inner child or just a younger version of you that needed love, will tend to hold on to that cord, and it wants it to be there because it's kind of associating that attachment with love. So that's where it becomes an issue, because that's not love, right? Attachment is not love. Freedom and empowerment is really love, and cords are disempowering. So I've seen a lot of that happening over the course of the build up towards this new moon solar eclipse. So if you guys have been experiencing any kind of information coming up to you from your subconscious of things that you need to let go of, again, that's sort of along the same lines. So I think that's pretty much all I had to say about the new moon solar eclipse, just generally speaking. So let's go ahead and pull some cards. I'm gonna just kind of angle you guys down a little bit so you can see. And if you guys are interested, I have this line of tarot mugs. I know I got to do a shameless, merch plug here because this is my business, guys. But they're down below the video if you're interested. This one's the moon and the high priestess, which is the Into the Unknown mug. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the cards. And then after we pull some cards for this energy, I will go ahead and answer some of your guys' questions about this new moon, about the solar eclipse, about whatever you guys want to talk about. And we'll even pull some cards for you guys to get some guidance on what's going on in your life. So let's just dive into it. I'm going to do this freestyle. I don't really have like a spread that I felt like using. Sometimes I'll use a specific spread, but today I just don't really feel like it. So let's just see what comes up. What was I just saying about cords of attachment, relationships, interrelational dynamics, and disempowerment? Ba-bam. There you go. The Devil card and the Two of Cups in reverse. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Thank you, Spirit, for confirming that in the form of tarot. So this is releasing attachments, especially in relationships where there has been an unhealthy connection or dynamic. Hello, welcome. I'm from Vancouver, BC too. Yay, a fellow British Columbian. Yay, welcome. Yeah, so there's a lot of this kind of heaviness and cords and limitations and disempowerment. So it's how can we kind of free ourselves from that? And, you know, the great way to do that is with that swords energy. So now here's something I want to talk about with you guys before I pull some more cards. There's a lot of talk online about cord cutting. In my practice, I don't cut cords because I find that cutting those cords, it doesn't really heal the issue. It kind of detaches, and then it's still there. The cord is still there. The half of it, you know, it's kind of like if you cut an umbilical cord, you know, obviously the umbilical cord reference is not great because the umbilical cord will then dry up and fall off. I find that though the problem with this when it comes to cords of attachment is that it can just kind of regrow and then you reattach, especially if you're still playing out those same kind of interpersonal energetic dynamics, especially if there's a lack of boundaries, especially if there's any unhealed trauma or any wounds within the subconscious or within the energy body. Again, that's what I do. Like I am a trauma-informed specialist and I'm a clairvoyant Reiki master and Akashic reader. So I do this spiritual counseling every single day. And this is what I see a lot of. And so when I'm doing cord work, I don't cut them. I unhook them. So every cord that I've ever seen anyway is usually attached by a hook. So there's the kind of like this little hook right in there. And the hook is really the behavior that you've been allowing or that you've been playing out. So let's say, for example, you are in a relationship with somebody, or, you know, it doesn't even have to be in a partnership or like a romantic relationship. It can be with anybody. Let's say you're in that relationship and this person just kind of makes you feel disempowered in some way. Maybe they give you backhanded compliments. Maybe they make you doubt yourself. Maybe they make you feel like you have to repress your ideas and your creativity. So your reaction to that will dictate whether or not a cord forms. So if you say, you know what, screw you, I'm going to do what I'm going to do because I can. And yeah, a lot of time bosses can do that. Yep, you're right. So the best thing that you can do is to stand in your power and say, I'm not going to let that person's disempowerment affect me. Because if you stand strong in your power, that can't enter into your field. It's only when you allow it from the inside out to affect you. Now, the chances that that might happen are fairly high simply because if this is unconscious and it's in the energy body, the reason you're experiencing this interaction with another person is because you are magnetically attracting it, because there's a wound around that within the energy body, in the unconscious mind, with the inner child, various different sources for this wound to exist. So when you bring that into your awareness, that's when you can start to really take your power back. Because it's one thing to say, no, I'm not going to allow this behavior. That's step one. Step two is discovering the underlying motivation to why that behavior is being attracted to you, right? So why that energy is around you in your reality. So this can be, you know, it's very internal. And so that cord or that hook is internal first and foremost. And then when we continue to play out that dynamic with another person, that's when it becomes really draining. And we are perpetuating that cycle. We're contributing to that drain or that disempowerment through not speaking up, not setting boundaries. That's a big one, you guys. All of the clients I work with, like 99% of clients that I work with really need support and tools on boundary setting. And I can tell you from my own experience, I needed it too. Like, I had no clue what boundaries were when I first started down this path, and this spiritual awakening has been anything but easy. But I tell you what, it's so empowering. And it is amazing. You go through all of these dark night of the souls and these rebirths, and you have to address these issues because these drain you and they take you out of your empowerment. That's what the devil is all about. And it's not the devil outside of you. It's the disempowering beliefs within. That's the only war we're fighting. That's the only spiritual war. It's a war within our own mind. And it's played out as a reflection in our interactions with those around us. So the best thing you can do is not just to cut these cords, but to set boundaries, clearly communicate, believe in yourself, believe in your worth, and no longer allow these kinds of relationship dynamics and energetic drainage to happen to you, or to, not just to happen to you, but to contribute to that, right? You're playing a role. It takes two to tango. So not cutting them is just my personal preference, because I just find that it can be effective, but it's less effective. I like to unhook them and then send them back with love. First and foremost, understanding why they were there in the first place. As I always say in all of my Akashic readings to all my clients, if you've had one with me, you'll hear me say this. The 4 pillars of alignment are awareness. We have to bring it to our conscious mind. 2, acceptance. We have to accept that this is what it is. It's not a judgment of yourself. It's not that you've done anything wrong. It just is what it is. 3 is accountability. We need to be accountable to the fact that we have played a role in how this energy dynamic is happening. And 4, we need to take new action, new positive action in a direction that empowers us, really empowers us. And when you take back your power, this is when you can actually empower other people as well. So cutting these cords within relationships or detaching these cords within relationships doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship has to end, or that it's a toxic partner, or that it's just, super negative. These can be with people you love and people you care about and people you don't want to leave your life. That's very normal, and I see that a lot too. So it's not so much that you're releasing this cord of attachment and then getting rid of the relationship. It's more like, let's set healthier boundaries so that we both have our needs met, so that we can communicate, so that we can heal together and not feel like we need to continue to participate in a way that is disempowering, where we're not heard, where we're not feeling appreciated, or our needs aren't being met. So that's very interesting that these have come up for this new moon. This is that higher learning. This is that subconscious stuff that's coming up to the surface. So let's see what else wants to come forward here. I'm going to pull a few more from the tarot, and then we'll get some oracle cards. Wow, that's a jumper. 3 of Pentacles. So working with other people, interrelational dynamics, putting yourself out there, broadening your mind by expressing your skills. Oh, good. 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is those kind of unhealthy relationship dynamics I was just talking about. So this is the healing of that. When I see this in the reverse, especially given what we were just talking about, this is no longer allowing those things to happen by not contributing to that argument. It's like, if somebody wants to fight about it, just walk away. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to be right. And when you heal the underlying reason why you're fighting to try and be right, which is self-acceptance, because when we don't accept ourselves, we constantly have to try and prove outside of ourselves that we're right. But if you truly know and you're settled within yourself, and you accept yourself and you love yourself, and you're just okay with whatever is, you really don't need to fight anymore. And so you'll find yourself just uninterested by that kind of energy or that dynamic. It's just like, okay, I don't even want to, I'm not going to bother with that. We have the King of Pentacles here as well. So lots of Pentacles energy coming up. So this could be helping you to kind of ground creating those healthy boundaries, and creating abundance too. So it feels kind of like these two together are like a business type of energy. So you might be working this new moon to further your financial growth and stability. And that's going to be interpersonal. So it's going to be working with people around you, perhaps on a consultation basis, perhaps on a collaboration basis, whatever works for you. I feel like this new moon is going to bring up opportunities in that realm for some people. And we have the Death card. Not surprised to see that here. The Death card is release and transformation. This is the necessary ending to bring in new things that we've been looking forward to or that we've been wanting, but maybe there's something we need to kind of let go. I'm hearing the word sacrifice. Now, I don't see that in terms of like you have to sacrifice yourself or you have to be a martyr or you have to do anything like that. I think that there's just fears that need to be sacrificed to be able to step into this really powerful, grounded, prosperous, abundant energy. There's fears that need to be walked away from. There may be relationships that need to be walked away from. Hi, Erin! Yay! So let's pull some oracle cards. Let's see. Well, I'm going to grab from the Moonology deck because it's a moon, right? We're in the moon right now. So let's see what the moon in this deck has to say. Okay. Step out of your comfort zone, guys. This is the energy that's coming through loud and clear for this new moon solar eclipse. It's pushing us far outside of our comfort zone. And this is the North Node, which is to do with our purpose and it's to do with our path in life. So this is kind of like our destiny. I do believe that we live in a universe where free will and destiny both exist. So when you ask, are things predetermined or are they chosen by us? Well, both. So it gets a little complicated because we live in a universe where both exist. And so we kind of have to work with those energies. But I feel like there's a lot of shifting that's happening to get you out of that comfort zone, things that were not productive for you or that were disempowering in some way or just didn't feel completely aligned. Those are coming to an end, kind of whether you like it or not. That's what solar eclipses do. And so the best thing you can do is not resist it. Just kind of lean into it, allow it to happen, just let go of any attachment as best you can. And I know that that's challenging and I know that that sounds like, oh, it's so much easier said than done. I know, but it's welcoming in this new beginning. A new start is coming and this is the new moon. So new moon energy. Hello, new moon. Welcome to the party. So this new moon is really bringing a lot up to be released. That's why it feels like a full moon. That's why the energy is so intense. That's why we've all been so exhausted and drained and run down, is because we are bringing so much up to the surface that then needs to be processed and released so that we can let that stuff die off and move forward with our purpose. Specifically in terms of, I'm seeing finances here because we do have that King of Pentacles. This could be like a Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy, but I also see this with relationships, right? So it's kind of like relationships in business, relationships and your finances and how those kind of go together. Some interesting themes here. So let's grab some of the goddess cards here. These are all like divine feminine energies, and the moon is a feminine energy. So it's connected with that intuition, with the feeling centers, all of those things that kind of make us connected and intuitive and psychic as well. So let's see what this deck is bringing forth for us all. Okay, we've got a few here. These matte cards always kind of stick together. I go back and forth between liking matte cards and liking shiny cards, but I like these, so I love using them. So this, you have Bridget, goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So this is really awakening the light within. And I'm feeling this so strongly, and I'm going to be talking more about this when we get to the conjunction on the 21st with the solstice. So I really feel like there's a huge awakening taking place right now, And oh, you're so welcome. Thank you, LaShawn. You're so welcome. I love doing these readings for you guys, and I love connecting with you in this way. You know, when I'm filming, I'm just kind of by myself and I'm talking to you guys, but you're not really there. But in this format, it's like you're really there. You're tangible. I can see you guys in your comments, and I see the little, you know, the little heads of the 49. Okay, great. So Brigid is the eternal flame. We are awakening that eternal flame within us, which tells us that no matter what death takes place or what ending happens, that eternal flame will continue to burn. Big, big energy there. Okay, we have White Buffalo Calf Woman, the prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So this did come out upside down in the reverse position. So I feel like there's a fear of following your heart, for some of us anyway. It can feel really scary to detach or to release or to walk down a path that you are unsure of how it's going to unfold. Granted, you know, of course, that's going to feel scary, stepping out of your comfort zone into the unknown. How perfect that I chose the Into the Unknown mug for this reading. We are literally moving into the unknown. So we also have Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Oh my God, I love that. I haven't seen this card before. This is a new deck for me. I actually bought this for a friend of mine, and she's moving to Scotland, so she's getting rid of so much stuff because she can't take it with her. And she was like, you know, you bought this for me for my birthday. Why don't you just, you know, have it back? So she kind of regifted it to me. So this was like a gift to myself that came, in a roundabout way, came back. And Freya is telling us that following our heart, we really, we can trust our heart when it's a holy hell yes, when we really feel that pull. So if you're feeling that pull, but you're resisting it because you're afraid of where it's gonna take you, just trust. Trust your heart. This one is called, oh, I don't actually know. Hold on, let me see. I think I have the box here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. I found it. For those of you who are wondering, this is the Divine Feminine Oracle by Lisbeth Cheever Gessaman. Yeah, all right, good to know. So, okay, sounds good. Let's see what other cards want to come through. Ooh, let's pull something from the Amenti Oracle. So this is more like guidance for us and affirmations that we can use for this new moon. I love freestyle readings because there's no limitations. I'm just like intuitively pulling cards for what I feel and this energy of this new moon. So I like how things really come together like that too. Like the cards all kind of speak to each other and the messages. That's why I love doing readings. That's why I started doing readings on YouTube in the first place, was because it connects me with my intuition and it connects me with spirit and how the magic can unfold through the cards. So I advanced through my own abilities came up. So I see this in conjunction with the Three of Pentacles. So advancing through your own abilities, trusting your own abilities, following where your passion is guiding you, where your skills can take you. I see this for somebody out there, or for a few of you, being concerned with your divine life purpose and what you came here to do. So what's your why? That's where your heart is really speaking to you. That's the eternal flame. What is your why? You know, if you kind of feel like you've lost your path or you're scared of stepping into the unknown, reaffirm what your why is to you. So sometimes I do this for myself because sometimes I get bogged down with obligation. You know, I can feel like, oh, I don't want to do another reading. I'm tired. You know what I mean? And I put it off and I procrastinate it. Or I don't have an idea for a reading and I feel stuck, or my readings don't get as much traction as I put my energy into, and I start to get discouraged and unmotivated. And so what I find has helped me through this process is to reconnect with my why. Why am I doing it? Am I doing it to gain subscribers? No. Am I doing it to preach? No. Why am I doing it? Because I want to share the love, because I want to help others to help themselves, because I want to see each and every one of us have the opportunity to embody our divine expression in this lifetime. in this incarnation. We have infinite potential for this over the course of our soul's existence, but why not do it now? Why not take everything that we've learned and bring it into this moment and stand in our power? So that's my why. And reconnecting with that has helped me to continue doing what I'm doing and push through the fear and the lack of motivation and the procrastination and the self-doubt and the discouragement, pushing through negative comments, pushing through all of those things that kind of build up and get heavy. It's like, what's the why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you care about what you're doing? Why do you want to do it? So connect with that, and that's going to help you, and possibly even working with other people who have the same why can help to grow this and to make it something bigger than you ever intended. That's what I'm feeling, and I'm getting goosebumps, so that's true. Yay. We also have, I consume my fair share. So this is about consumption and energy, because attention is energy. Consuming things can be paying attention to them as well. So what are you paying attention to, or what are you allowing in your life that is maybe too much or too little? Maybe your fair share is less than you've been giving yourself. Maybe your fair share is more than you've been giving yourself. So consuming your fair share is balance. This is what happens when we get into alignment and we see that eternal flame from within. Bridget there with the eternal flame. When we see that internal flame from within, we know that we don't need to take on any more than is necessary. And we don't need to take on any less than is necessary, because we know that we have more than enough on the inside. Hi, Rachel, welcome. All right, so I'm gonna grab a few more oracle cards. And then for the last half, we'll do some questions and answers and some card pulls for you guys, because why not? Okay, we've got a few from this deck. So we have Shift Your Energy, number 19. So 19 is an energy of new beginnings and endings. So 1 being new beginnings, 9's being endings. That's very the vibe that I get from this new moon and the solar eclipse. It's like, yes, Rachel, reach out to me via email. It's services.ToKittyandBeyond@gmail.com. If you guys are interested in booking a session with me, of any of the ones that I mentioned before, all of the information will be in the description box with pricing and whatnot, but you can always just reach out to me via email. And if you're waiting on an email back from me, I will be sending them out later today. It's been a busy month this month, guys. It's been real busy. Thank you so much to all the clients who have come forward, all the emails I'm getting, and all the love and support I've been receiving. You guys have no idea how much this means to me. My heart is full. And this is my why. This is my why. So thank you for allowing me to live my purpose. I want you guys to be able to do the same thing. So step out of your comfort zone, because I tell you what, I had to step so far out of my comfort zone to fulfill my purpose in life and to really feel like this was my heart calling. You guys can do that too. I really believe in you. I will be your biggest cheerleader. That's why I'm here doing what I'm doing. I really want you guys to be empowered. I really want you guys to be abundant. I really want you guys to have healthy relationships with yourself and others. And I really want you to be able to shift your energy to your highest alignment. That's why I do what I do. So yay, I look forward, Erin, to working with you as well. So shifting your energy, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's moving out of that unalignment of disempowerment through attachment and into a shift in your energy where you're feeling more empowered, aligned, balanced, feeling like you don't have to take on things that are not yours. That's another boundary thing I see with a lot of clients. It's taking on responsibility, especially for empaths and for people, you know, that can really show up as codependent tendencies within relationships. These were often modeled in childhood. So it's not like you're doing anything wrong. It's just that's what you learned. And so this is creating an opportunity for higher learning so that you can see the bigger picture and unlearn the traits, characteristics, or behaviors that are keeping you stuck in a limited mindset and in limited interactions interpersonally. So shifting your energy, huge benefit for this new moon. I'm really happy to see that card come out. Amplify your positive emotions. Yay! Amplify those positive emotions in any way you can right now, through meditation, through self-love, through creativity, self-expression, journaling, coloring in a coloring book, watching shows that inspire you or that comfort you. You know what I've been watching? You guys want to know what I've been watching? I've been watching kids movies and kids shows because that's what makes me feel happy. That's why I like to connect with the archetypes of innocence and of empowerment and things like that are often only really directed at children for some reason. Why is that the case? Why don't we have like all of these happy things for adults? Like, why don't we have that as available? And we do have like romantic comedies and things like that, but I feel like, hey, Anita, hey, Anita is one of my regulars. I love her so much. You're doing great, Anita. So this is like, you know, it's connecting with that positive energy for you. What brings you positive vibes? What makes you feel good? Is this dancing in the bathroom in front of the mirror? Is this talking to yourself and building yourself up, being your biggest cheerleader? You know what? Yes, oh my God, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Such a good series, you guys. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it. It has so much spiritual information in there. Like it's not even like hidden spiritual information. It's like right there in front of you. They talk about the chakras, they talk about releasing attachments, and it's all about mastering and embodying the 4 elements, which is what tarot talks about, which is why I was drawn to tarot in the first place, is because it's talking about those 4 elements and how we can balance them within ourselves. So connect with your magical inner child and create healing through self-acceptance of that, because I think a lot of the time we kind of push that away and we judge ourselves. Like I had a moment where I was sitting there and watching Sophia the First, which is like a princess show, and I was like, I'm a 31-year-old woman and I'm sitting here watching a kids show. And then I was like, so are you enjoying it? Yeah. So then who cares? Like, who cares? And I'm telling you guys this because that was such a limiting thought. And that was from programming of fear of what other people would think. And I'm sharing that with you, having the courage to be vulnerable, because I feel empowered by choosing to spend my time interacting with things that make me feel positive or that build that flame within me and make me feel inspired. So yeah. Next we have You Are Worth It. And this is coming up in the reverse. So I feel like there's a fear that some of you believe you're not worth it. And I see this a lot with clients too. So this isn't a truth though. You know, this coming up in reverse, it's just a belief. It's just a fear. And beliefs are just thoughts that we've thought repetitively or things that we learned through other people. They're not actually true within themselves, because you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it. So gratitude and appreciation for yourself is kind of what I'm feeling from these oracle cards. Appreciate yourself. That will amplify those positive emotions. Appreciate who you are. Appreciate what your why is, what you're passionate about, what you enjoy, what you want to share with the world. Appreciate yourself and all of that light that you bring to the table. And that is where you will really feel that you are worthy. Because your worth doesn't change whether you believe it or not, but you are worthy either way. So it's really just about shifting the mindset. Which is very Sagittarian energy. It's like shift that mindset through experiences, positive experiences, get yourself out there. You know what I mean? That's going to shift the energy. That's going to help you feel inspired, empowered, energetic, aligned, and heart-centered. That's what's going to help you to express that happiness and that joy. Just being you. Just be you. The world needs more of you. Okay, so I think that's a good way to close out that portion of the reading. So now let's jump into questions. What questions do you guys have that you are wanting answers on? We can pull some cards, or if it's just general spiritual questions, I will respond with those as well. Rumi, respond to every all that excites your spirit. Yes, I love that. Yes, exactly, Erin. That's what children do. Children don't judge themselves until they learn to judge themselves. That's learned through experiences. You know, that's not the truth. We weren't born with that. So it's being able to embrace who we really are. Okay, so Erin, please a card for our loss. Okay, let's see. Well, you have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So this feels like a loss of money or energy. This could have been a loss of confidence too, is what I'm feeling. Confidence. It feels like you've lost your confidence in some way. It's like a solar plexus hit. So there could be something to do with money in regard to that. So you might have a big debt that's coming up or something like that, or going through some kind of a financial change. So I would say, focus on your stability within yourself. That's going to be the first place to start. And how you interact with other people. Money is just a form of energy. And the basis or core of all energy is energy within yourself. So that's your vital force energy. So think about that in terms of coins. Where are you spending your vital force energy? What are you investing in? Or what are you, squandering your energy on? So that's something to think about. I feel that guidance coming through for you. So I hope that that helps. Okay, keep putting them up, guys. They fade super fast in the corner there. Have an issue with the need to be perfect and being stuck and not moving forward if not perfect. Oh my God, Renee, I can totally relate. When I started doing therapy and psychotherapy, like for me, instead of just like the form of therapy that I do with clients, it was like this was for me and I needed it. I scored, I think, like in the 90 percentile of perfectionism. Not good. And the perfectionist side of me was like, oh yes, I'm in the 90s, that's an A. Like, what? No. Perfectionism is not something you want to succeed at. The perfectionism can really draw you back because you feel like you can't succeed no matter what you do. So you end up procrastinating or going into avoidance patterns, and you end up feeling even more less perfect because you're essentially setting yourself up for failure. So what I've found that works for me when it comes to perfectionism is accepting yourself. Again, accepting yourself, accepting yourself, accepting yourself, connecting with your own self-worth. You don't need to do anything to be worthy. You can have hard days. You can go into those avoidance cycles. You can procrastinate. You're still worthy. So the first step is to accept yourself and those patterns. So I've had to like sit myself down and say, you know what? I'm not going to do the dishes today. Is that not perfect? No, but I need a rest. And so I feel okay, and I'm going to trust myself that when I'm ready, I'm going to go do that. So it's letting go of the need to do it perfectly and do it now. It's being able to accept yourself for all that you are. And that means accepting the bits of yourself that have the fear, that have the doubt, that have the wound, and that are playing out those patterns. So I've pulled a few cards here. Okay. So for perfectionism for you, it's walking away from things that are unfulfilling to you, because if you've been staying in situations where you were trying to fix it and make it perfect, but it's really just draining you, then that's just going to continue to contribute to the belief that you're not perfect and that no matter what you do, you can't be successful. You can and you will be, and this will take a little bit of dedication, practice, and planning, but you can do it. If you want to work with me or anyone else in terms of perfectionism, I highly recommend therapy or counseling. It has helped me immensely, and I teach that to my clients as well. So that's something that can be a huge benefit and a tool that will help you to be able to get more grounded and accept yourself and feel more confident. Yellow is the solar plexus chakra, which is the self-worth, the sense of self, and the movement towards your personal goals by taking action. So this can help you to kind of release some of the resistance to not being able to do it perfectly. Just allow yourself to do a little bit of it, or to do it imperfectly, and then accept yourself in that process. So it takes trial and error, and I do provide tools for that within my practice. So if you're interested, let me know. But judgment as well. So this is kind of like you're calling up all of the past versions of you that have had this trauma through perfectionism, because you know what perfectionism actually is? It's trying to avoid trauma. It's trying to avoid rejection. It's trying to make sure that your needs are going to be met. When you meet your own needs for self-acceptance and self-love, you find you don't need to be doing anything perfectly, because you accept yourself just as you are. And the more imperfectly you do things, the more you accept yourself, because you're like, oh, look at you. You're so silly. You make mistakes. I love you. That's how we learn. So it's a cognitive distortion, perfectionism, and it can be transformed through self-acceptance, self-love, and building yourself up with that confidence. So I hope that helps. Anybody else have what do I need to be aware of? Rachel Little, what does Rachel need to be aware of right now? King of Swords, Rachel. So be aware of communication that comes in. This could be coming from a male, an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, or it could just be coming to you in terms of, your intuition or your thoughts. You may be gaining a lot of clarity on something over the course of this new moon solar eclipse that will cause you to reevaluate some of the relationships that you have at the moment. That's what I'm sensing. You may be called to kind of defend your territory or set some boundaries if that is something that is necessary or is needed. And I feel like communication is going to be really important in that. So I do work with clients around communicating boundaries a lot, and it's not just communication, it's also enforcement, which is done at the level of action. So it's like you can say no, but if you then allow the behavior to continue, you've really said yes with your actions, with your behavior. So it's about saying it, understanding what your needs are, communicating them, and then enforcing it. Because if we had a police force that set laws and then they had them there so everybody could see them, but then people went out and broke them and they were just like, hey, stop doing that, but I'm just going to sit here and let you do it. Do you think anyone would obey those laws? Hell no. We need to enforce it. And that's what I feel like you're going to be doing. So that's fantastic. Really empowering. Awesome for you, Rachel. So Michelle is looking for, will you receive a job opportunity soon? Will Michelle receive a job opportunity soon? Okay, so the Seven of Cups is like a confusion, and it can also be different opportunities coming up that you don't know how to choose between. So this is actually a good sign for you getting things coming up that might, be opportunities in terms of jobs. But I also get the sense that you might not know what it is that you want yet. You might be confused or just kind of being pulled in different directions emotionally towards different things. So it's like if you're trying to manifest something and you don't know what it is that you want, you're going to get a whole lot of kind of nothing, or a whole lot of different things that maybe aren't aligned with you or that you don't really want. So I feel like that's kind of what's happening. And maybe the reason that you haven't been attracting the job that's aligned with you is because you're not really clear on what it is that you want emotionally. What's going to really fulfill you? So connect with your why. That's what I was talking about before. What's your why? What do you want to do because you love it? What really brings you emotional fulfillment? What's the best option out of all of these cups? Because look there's like a snake, there's a head, there's a laurel, there's like a random ghosty looking thing, a handkerchief. So there's lots of different options for you, but it's what do you want? It's not about what's going to come to you. It's what do you want that you can vibrationally align to. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Journey of Love and Light, is there a message for you? Let's find out. Journey of Love and Light. Love the name, by the way. Let's find out. Oh, yes. You got the 10 of Cups. Woo, woo. You got the best card. One of my favorites. My other is the Star. But I love the 10 of Cups because this is emotional fulfillment on all levels. So your journey of love and light is really to this sense of emotional fulfillment and completion. It's really the culmination of contentment, happiness, joy, love, all of these things. So I really see that for you coming in hot. That's awesome. So for Anita, what's going on with your health? Girl, you need rest, and you know this. We've been talking about this in every session that we have together. You really need to rest, and not just rest physically. Because if you're resting physically, but you're constantly running fears and doubts and, self-sabotaging things in your mind, like I'm not doing enough or I should be doing more, that's not resting. Anita, that's not resting. You need mental rest. You need to recuperate emotionally, mentally, which means laying those self-sabotaging swords down, hang them on the wall. You can pick them up later, but you need some rest right now, like hardcore rest. So this is self-acceptance again, right? This kind of goes back to perfectionism. When you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to be perfect, you will push yourself past your boundaries. You will neglect your own needs. And that really is so detrimental for your happiness, your well-being, your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual health. You need some rest. And that's why, you know, we can book another session in January for you, but I feel like this month it's just rest. Just rest, because the work we do is also quite intense, right? Like doing the Reiki and the Akashic readings and all that stuff, they're fantastic for healing, but they're also quite intense because they bring up a lot of stuff. So you also need that rest and that integration period to be able to balance, right? We need all things in balance. And again, if you're putting this kind of stipulation on yourself that I should be healed, I should be better, I should have energy, that's not allowing yourself to rest, because you're essentially hitting yourself. I'm seeing like a flogging, you know, like flagellation, self-flagellation. It's kind of like you're self-harming, right? And that's creating even more burnout. So the real goal here is just rest. Rest, my dear. You deserve it and you need it. Okay, so for Jenny, I'm gonna grab a message for you. We'll just see what comes up. Well, you've got the Knight of Wands. So is there something you're passionate about? Is there something that this fiery Sagittarius new moon is calling you towards? You know, what is it that you really want to run straight ahead for? What is your creativity calling you to do? You know, this is a great energy for really just going full force. It does require that you kind of moderate that a little bit so that you don't completely, you know, get ahead of yourself and fall off the horse. So it's a little bit of balance, but I really get the sense that you're just really excited about something, or there's something under the surface that really wants to be expressed. So tune into your sacral chakra and your solar plexus chakra to find out what that is. And I feel like it's going to be something, a project or something that you're working on. Okay, let me know what that is. All right, who else would like a card? A song called ToKittyandBeyond. Is there a message that wants to come through for me for Alexander Salazar? What a cool name. It's like Salazar Slytherin. I love Harry Potter. Alexander, you have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a really independent, powerful, really grounded and abundant energy. So the message that's coming through for you is that your self-discipline and your hard work will be paying off. And if you're not already seeing the fruits of your labors, you will be. Continue to put in the work, continue to kind of maintain the pace that you're at in a sustainable way, right? Not making, you know, making sure you're not burning yourself out, but investing in yourself, investing in the future. It's going to be very fruitful for you. So that's great. Temperance Awakened, love the name. How can I move forward in my purpose? Page of Swords, study. There's information there that will help you on that path. So learning, explore what you're curious about. I feel like this Page of Swords is so curious when in regard to you. So what are you curious about? What do you want to learn more about? What modalities are you interested in? What information are you seeking? How can you learn more and open and broaden up your mind? This is a perfect time for that. This is a new moon in Sagittarius, so it's a new beginning, which is page energies. They are connected to the Fool, which is a new beginning. In this case, it's the element of air, so this is thought for you. New realms of thought, new realms of study. Be in that beginner mindset. You know, you might be really experienced in something else, but maybe that's not your purpose. So you do kind of have to be open to that beginner mindset again, get into that student role and learn something new, because that's the only way to really become a master and to stand in your purpose. So follow your curiosity. That's the guidance there. Mel Anderson, should I live in Dallas for my purpose? That's kind of I don't do like those kinds of questions or readings simply because there's so many different potentials. And so to say yes or no to that would limit you really in your infinite potential to choose through free will, and potentially through, it might be like things that are fated for you. Is it aligned with you? That's something that you can ask yourself. We can ask and we can get a positive or negative card to see whether it is aligned with you. Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this is a little bit ambiguous because the Wheel of Fortune can be both a positive and negative card. It is the wheel of chance or luck. So is Dallas aligned with you and your purpose? You're going to have to roll the dice here. There's not going to be a clear answer from anyone. And so the only way to find that is really to trust yourself and to try your luck. Try your luck. You won't know till you try. You're so welcome, guys. Wheel of Fortune theme song. I need that. Yeah, that's awesome. Anything that I need to know right now? Thank you from Shani. Okay, Shani. Anything you need to know? What does Shani need to know? Oh, Shani, are you okay? There's some grief here. This is the Five of Cups, which is grieving, grief, loss, letting go. It can also be about crying over things that it kind of like, I don't like this term, but they're kind of bringing it to my forefront of my mind. So crying over spilled milk. It's like things that you've lost or things that didn't work out or relationships that turned into exes. It's kind of like you're still focusing on that or feeling that. It's like you haven't fully released it yet. So this new moon is an opportunity to do that. I was talking about cord cutting in the beginning. That might be something to explore for you, but I feel like this is very heart-centered and emotional. So allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt. I think that's really the big message here. Allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt without judgment. Just accepting yourself and the emotions that you have because they are valid and they do need to be felt to be released. Seth Gomez, clarity on your path. Let's see. Oh boy, Seth, you got the 10 of Pentacles. Big money. So this is a legacy type of energy. This is really fruitful, long-term goals paying off big time for you. So this doesn't always have to be money. It can be family. It can be like a family business or a legacy of some kind. But I really see this as you connecting to your spirituality because what they're drawing my attention to is the positioning of these pentacles, which is the what is it called? The tree of life, the hermetic tree of life or tree of knowledge. I can't remember, but it's positioned like that. So if that's something you want to look into, I would encourage that. Maybe there's some message there for you. It's like the path of spirit to enlightenment, essentially. Yeah, something about your legacy is going to be built on your own spiritual awakening. Yeah, so Seth, your spiritual awakening is putting you on the path to your legacy. That's what you're going to be creating, and it's going to be fruitful for you financially, physically, yeah, it just feels like there's going to be a lot of fulfillment for you. So just keep learning, just keep expanding, just keep working at it. You're so welcome. Okay, message for you to move forward, Nina Infinity. Love the name, Infinity and Beyond. So to move forward, you've got the Seven of Wands here. So the Seven of Wands is kind of a defensive energy. It's got its guard up pretty hardcore. And sometimes there are threats that necessitate that guard being up, and sometimes there's not. You know, sometimes these sticks aren't attached to anything, so you're not being attacked, or there is no aggressor that you need to defend from. Sometimes there is. So I feel like to move forward for you, it's going to be kind of about discerning between when to have that guard up and when to let it down so that you can continue to move. Because if you've got your guard up, you're not moving. Right? You're standing on this hilltop on the high ground trying to defend your ground or territory or what you believe in, or to defend your project. This can be anything. What are you defending? And why are you defending it? Right? So think about that a little bit and how you can continue to move forward by letting that guard down a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, who else would like a card? Luck, Love, Melody. Any advice for following my goal? I thought one flipped over. Let's just keep going. Advice for following your goal. There it is. Four of Pentacles. So steadfast was the word that immediately came through clairaudiently. Continue to be steadfast. That means sticking to it. That means really firmly planting your seeds and allowing them to grow, creating a lot of stability. Fours are about stability. The Four of Pentacles is also about saving and kind of holding on to wealth. So you may need to just kind of limit your spending so that essentially to fuel your growth forward, right? Like you want to make sure that you have enough resources to do that. This could be financially or it could be energetically too. So this could be about, just getting really grounded, being really practical, very physical, and steadfast in moving towards whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve. YouTube channel, I want the next card. You get the next card, YouTube channel. Let's see. Oh, you got two. Okay. So you have the Death card, which was one of the cards that came up for this new moon reading. So there's a lot of transformation coming for you, because I don't see death as ending. I see death as a transformation. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. So I really see this as you going through a transformation, a death process, and a rebirth. Let's see. Well, you have the King of Pentacles. That was another one that came out for the new moon energy. So you're very tapped into that new moon vibe right now, YouTube channel. This could be an ending of some kind with an earth sign male or an earth sign energy, or this could be you going through some kind of a transformation when it comes to your physical reality. We've got a lot of planets moving out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. This is Capricorn energy, by the way. So there's it's like the death of that very physical, very grounded, very practical, very monetary energy, and we're moving into the realm of the mind and beliefs and expression and philosophy and thought. So I feel like there's going to be a bit of a transition here for you that's going to require you to kind of restructure how you think, how you feel, how you move in your life. Yeah, so just kind of go with the flow as best you can. The King of Pentacles kind of struggles with that a little bit because he tends to be very rigid and grounded, but I feel like you'll do okay with this. Just know that changes are necessary, and it's going to bring in a lot of abundance for you in the future. So go with the flow, YouTube channel. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Okay, we'll do one more for LaShawn. Any advice on career path? For LaShawn, career path. Three of Cups. Okay, so there's going to be something to celebrate for you, LaShawn. There's going to be an opportunity to reunite with people who may have something important emotionally to share with you on your career path. So this could be coworkers, this could be mentors. I'm feeling like this is kind of like a soulmate partnership. Not like a relationship, but like a partnership or a friendship of some kind that's going to help to boost your motivation to continue down a certain path that feels aligned with you. So it's kind of like your cheerleaders is what I'm feeling, and I'm getting shivers and tingles down my legs. So that's always an indication of grounded, practical, physical truth. So this is a big message for you to, allow that circle of friends or mentors or partners or whatever these people are to cheerlead for you, to support you, to motivate you, make you feel confident about your choices and your path. And last but not least, I'm going to pull a card for Jared because he's a long-time subscriber. He's been with me for a long time here, and I did see that he was asking for one. So Jared, you have the Two of Wands in reverse. So I feel like you have chosen a path where you were potentially kind of weighing up options for yourself and looking at the different path. Like this one over here looks pretty good. There's sunlight, there's trees, okay, the ground is fairly stable. This one over here looks really good too, maybe a little bit more treacherous, but that one ends at a pot of gold, and this one ends at like a bucket of KFC. So like, what do I really want here? Like, I don't know why the bucket of KFC just popped into my mind. Maybe you like KFC. I don't know, because that's so random, and I haven't had KFC in like 10 years, but like that's what's coming through, so I'm just gonna share it. I feel like you've made a decision on which path is for you. This can also indicate feeling really resistant to making a decision, but intuitively I feel like you kind of already know which way you want to go, and it's kind of like playing the choice game where you choose one and then you realize you actually want the other one. It's like when you force yourself to choose, you really know what you want. In that moment, it's like that split decision. Your subconscious will come forward and be like, yeah, you know what you want. So walk that path confidently. Jared. So thank you everyone for attending. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. If you'd like to book a session with me for healing, I do Reiki, Akashic readings, I do intuitive tarot therapy, and I also do spiritual counseling. So if you guys are interested in any of that, the information will be in the description box below this video once the video is uploaded officially. And you can email me at services.tokittyandbeyond@gmail.com. Hi, Antonia. A little late to the party. We're just ending here, but you can catch the replay shortly as it's uploaded to YouTube. So thank you guys so much. I wish you all the best for this new moon and the solar eclipse and going forward. And I will see you again soon. I will let you guys know when my next live will be. And I'll be making a video on the Saturn conjunction and the solstice as well. So stay tuned for that. Love you guys. Bye.